You got two trucker hats in the back there.
They're branded hats. They're from my company.
Right. And now, do you do that just so, like, hopefully you're on a video call and somebody sees that and they think to themselves, like, Cam LeClaire, real team player?
Pretty much. It's just to have some logo there because I also don't know where to put those hats, so I figure that's a good spot for them.
Yeah, because you don't wear them.
Sometimes when the sun's really bright and it goes on my face, I put them on, but that's about it.
Yeah, so like most reasons why you would wear hats.
I guess, yeah.
When it's sunny,
fix my hair.
You need to fix your hair. You're having a good hair day today, though.
It's okay.
It looks it's like it looks like it's styled to look messy. You know.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't going for that.
That kind of thing where you know, like the I just woke up. My hair.
Did it just end up like this? Did I just get out of bed? Is it 4 o'clock? Oh,
yeah,
my God.
Cam, I just woke up. I'm so sorry. I'm just so sorry.
Did I not get back to your text this morning at 10 a.m.? Sorry.
So sorry. I was out all night. I was out all last night.
I was at Topgolf last night, sinking putts, bagging sluts. Two things you can't do at Topgolf.
Yeah.
Putts.
Of course, yeah. You know, famously known as a driving range only, Cam, you sort of tried to take a new. You tried to sort of putt.
Yeah, I tried to putt off the balcony, and I'm like, damn, can't sink anything today.
It didn't even work. Yeah. You know, your follow through was great. But unfortunately, you know, you're kind of on the balcony. You're that second floor balcony there. The ball just kind of fell straight down.
Your club head speed is coming in at 2 miles an hour. Ball speed at 1. I think you put a little more behind that drive.
Yeah, and it was all kind of focused on drives, and you were really focused on speeding up your putting game. I think that's going to be one of one of the things you're going to work on for this upcoming season.
It's all about your stroke.
That's what they say. And a little bit ironically for you, Cam, because you just suffered a stroke.
Well, it's been a holiday.
You're trying to take strokes off of your game, while
take them off your game, put them on your heart.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where do the strokes go? Right? They don't go nowhere.
They don't. Well, they're supposed to go on tour. Playing this summer.
Is that a triple entendre?
Playing this summer with Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is Julian Casablanca their front man? Did I get that right?
Casablancas, but yes. Yeah.
Ah, close.
Yeah.
Hey, look at me, pop culture.
That was pretty good.
Pop culture king.
That was pretty good. Well, I think we had mentioned on the show before, Old Slobs know, Julian Casablancas' father was Donald Trump's daughter's modeling agent. I think we kind of broke that here on the show, that everyone's favorite grunge, early 2000s grunge group, The Strokes, are really just the children of a bunch of millionaire, absolute millionaire, rich New York City, finance, working in stock exchange, the Dow Jones.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think he's complaining that much about life's unfair. That's not his.
No, that's not his MO.
So
but
it's not hypocritical.
Oh,
it's just, you know what I mean? We don't have to hate on him for his lyrics. You just hate on him because he's rich, I guess.
I guess I'm not hating on the Strokes at all. But it's just that it is that kind of funny thing. I guess when you don't wear your wealth.
Right.
When you're not at the Met Gala, or you're wearing Gucci, Chanel, when you're just in black jeans and a white t-shirt, people assume you're poor. But that's not necessarily the case.
I think if you're in music, people assume you're poor.
That's true.
And you're not like the Rolling Stones.
The only profitable band, the Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones, Beatles, and Ludacris.
The three sole profitable music acts.
Yeah, and Snoop Dogg, because apparently he came up with his own metaverse.
His own metaverse?
Yeah, I can't really wrap my head around the whole concept of it, but I'm sure one day I'll own some land.
You think you're going to own digital land before you own physical, real-world land?
Yeah, well, my thought is if I buy one of those plots that they advertise all the time in Scotland where you can become a lord if you get 1 foot of square property.
Okay.
And then just get squatters' rights and build a house on that, expanding to others people's, saying I have tenant property and moving on from there. Selling that house off for a paperclip and then doing the paperclip challenge up to a Camaro, selling off the Camaro for meta world landscape. Metaverse.
No, I
estate.
think he went back to Ron Artest. I think he's just Ron Artest now. I think he gave up that whole thing.
Meta world peace real estate. Is it real estate when it's a metaverse?
I would call it digital state.
Ooh, that's a term.
That's a term. I made
Are you ready?
I made it up right now. No, I am not ready for this podcast. So let's just start it. Let's just start recording. Oh, we
Continuing
Tonight on Two C's in a Pod, 96.7 on your
Two C's in a pod, 2 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 C's in a pod, because we're 2 C's in a pod, just like 2 C's in a pod, 2 C's in a pod at gmail.com.
All right. Hey, I got some news. We hit 100 syndication kicks today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2 C's in a pod, episode 100, the triple digis.
NBC, call me up. You can play me anytime.
Now you said this the other day, something to do with syndication. What do you mean? A television show has to be 100 episodes before it's allowed to be repeated?
Yeah, so once you get to 100 episodes, you get more pay for it, and then it's able to be like repeated consistently on television. So I don't know the full definition of it. It's like that's why you see episodes of Seinfeld all the time everywhere.
Because it's the funniest show ever?
Well, because it has 100 episodes.
Oh, okay. And that's why we don't see Lost all the time?
Did that not get to 100?
Maybe not. 100 episodes, that's a tough one. Big thing for you. My name's Cameron Osborne. That's
here we
Cameron
go.
LeClaire.
So broadcast syndication is the practice of leasing or the right of broadcasting television to radio programs to multiple television stations and radio stations. So once it hits 100, we are no longer only part of 2C's network. We're now part of anybody who wants it. So that's why it's no longer just Seinfeld on NBC. It can be on MTV. It can be on CBC. It can be on whoever. Syndication, baby.
Syndication.
So, hey,
we're in syndication,
phones
baby.
on, baby.
That's it. Not only are we available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Premium, Spoticast, Cam, that was one of your ventures from early on, I think, in the first 100 episodes.
One of the many things I came up with at one point and didn't follow through with. Unlike my naming of sports figures after every episode, which I haven't missed. And unfortunately do not have a number for today because that segment is now over.
Yeah, segment's over. Segment's over, folks. You never know you're in the good times until they're happening. Or something like that.
Yeah, till
they're done.
Here for a good time.
We're here for not a long time.
Meet me in Margaritaville. We'll have ourselves some wine.
Cheeseburgers in paradise.
Did I tell you I went to his restaurant?
I said it twice. Yeah, the one in Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay. No, you didn't. But I've been to. You said it sucked.
Yeah.
I went to the Margaritaville in Florida when I was on a vacation there one time. I don't really remember it. I probably just got a cheeseburger.
Yeah, I mean they didn't have anything. They said they had the world's best martini, or not martini, sorry, Margaritaville. Oh my God, Jesus, best margarita.
Yeah, no, this is interesting. Yeah, because they did the location is the brick and mortar location is called Margaritaville. However, they do advertise their famous martini.
Yeah. No, my casino said they didn't have the best martini. They said they had Vegas's largest martini, which I wasn't sure if that's something you should be proud of because that's not that difficult.
Yeah, and the biggest isn't necessarily the best.
Correct.
Especially when it comes to, because really, like, what's the limit on the size of the martini you could sell? Like, if you had a child's blow up pool.
Yeah, and you put it in a triangle shape.
As
long as it's with a jar of olives in it.
That could count with a full jar of olives with the brine. Don't forget the brine.
With the lid on, just throw it in the pool.
Yeah.
It is now a martini.
It's now a martini. And they call it a dirty martini because
you use a hockey stick and put it right through the jar, and then you have it sticking through.
Yeah.
It's a landmark, just like the golden nickel or the giant nickel in Sudbury.
The gold. If Old Slobs, you remember, you're Canadian. Known for their gold. Sudbury, known for their gold. Now the golden nickel, is that a nickel like covered with, like, it's kind of like plated with gold, or is it a?
You know the one. There's a giant one somewhere.
Yeah, it's in Sudbury, Cam. It's right there. It is right there.
It is a nickel, right?
Yeah, because nickel is the metal, but Cam, what you're describing is a gold covered, like, it's like you kind of like, it's like you took one piece of chocolate, it's like you took dark chocolate and then covered it with white chocolate.
Right. No, it's like the wrapper around your chocolate gold coins that you get at some time of the year. Sometimes they don't really have a holiday. Yeah.
No,
banking holidays.
That's just general.
Do you get gold coins?
That's just general chocolate you get.
I think when I have kids, I think that's what I'm going to do. On banking holidays, I will give them one chocolate gold coin to remind them that it's a banking holiday.
And what are the banking holidays?
Most days that banks are off, but people have to work. For example, Veterans Day.
Oh, okay. Something like that.
Right? Things like that. Natural Truth and Reconciliation Day. Banking holiday.
Okay.
Things like that.
What about the day? What about the last day that you can contribute to your RRSP? Is that going to be a day that they'll get a little bit of chocolate? You know, because that's an important day in banking.
That's an important banking day. Yes, that is a big important banking day. Taxes deadline. Banking holiday.
Banking holiday.
Right.
Okay.
And this is how you train capitalists.
Right. Because not only that, you're going to force your children to become bankers.
And they say, what interests you to the job? And they go, ever since I was young, I've celebrated every banking holiday. And they would just go, you're hired.
Yeah.
You're that passionate about banking. You haven't missed one.
Well, yeah.
Ask me the date, not just the date of everyone. Ask me the weather on the day. I'll tell you. I remember every one of them.
Every single one.
Yeah.
You remember, Cam.
I got a little bit of a side deviation, but I let me get this out and get it recorded before I forget.
Oh, okay.
I was outside right before we started this, and just came home from, I went to see if Walmart was open to get some pie crust. Not open today. When Walmart doesn't close, I thought, first of all.
No, but New Year's Day is one of those days, right? It's a time and a half day. So a big place like Walmart that has, let's say 50 some odd employees working at one time, they don't want to pay 50 people time and a half.
Fair enough. Anyway, so I come back in the car, and there's a white van outside on my driveway, and I'm like, fuck. Because I wasn't sure if I locked my door or not. My door was locked. That wasn't the problem. And he had a handicap thing in the front. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not sure what this guy's doing. As I'm walking to my door, someone starts banging on the back window. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because whenever you see a white van and then someone slamming on the back and it's tinted glass, you get a little bit nervous.
And this is just parked out front of your house?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go up to the car and I'm like, is everything okay? And he just flashes me the handicap thing. And he has a N95 mask on. And I'm like, it looks kind of normal. But also I don't really know what to think of this. So I go inside. This is unrelated, but I think it might have scared him a little bit. And I grabbed a golf club because I wanted to go hit balls in my front yard. And I did hit balls in my front yard, those little plastic ones. But I think he assumed I was coming out to attack him because pretty soon after that, he left. I did get, it was BTRV, I think, on the first 4 digits. So I'll have to ask Shannon tonight if anyone's been abducted. But that was interesting.
If any paraplegics have been
Or just a person. Or just a person.
Wow.
I mean, just because he flashed me that sign, maybe I should have followed up and been like, are we sure that that's it? I don't know. What do you do in that situation? You just go, no problem here.
Yeah, that's a weird.
Can I get proof of life?
There's
proof of life back there, but
that's a weird one. I always thought that like tinted windows like wasn't allowed.
Good point. Very good point. I don't know them.
I always remember seeing that, or if you're watching like Cops or Live PD, people are always getting pulled over for having too tinted of windows.
Right. And they're like, what's back there? You're like, it's a person, but I have this little handicap thing. You're like, keep going.
Were they handicapped or was the person in the truck? That's bizarre.
Fuck if I know, man. Like the best case scenario, he was just picking up someone that was handicapped and that person was slamming against the window for whatever reason. Worst case scenario, I just forgot the license plate number and someone got abducted.
But hey, at least they had the mask on.
Hey, but I came in and checked. My dog was still here, so you know what? I'm happy.
Shannon hasn't responded to her phone in about 4.5 hours, but the dog is...
Yeah, she left her phone upstairs too, which is weird. She never does that.
She never leaves the home without it.
She's never done that.
She left her keys. Yeah. She left her wallet. But hey, some people just want to go for a walk.
Yeah, she left her shoes here too, but I mean that's the new thing, right?
Yes, I did see kids are walking around now,
barefoot, yeah,
walking barefoot.
New year, new me, right?
Yeah. It's a trend. People going on TikTok, walking around with no shoes on, no wallet, no keys, no phone, no headphones.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's
a new
like
thing.
Getting in touch with the world.
Yes, feeling the concrete beneath your toes.
I did feel a little bad for going out with the golf club because I didn't intend to scare him. But I feel like I might have scared him a little bit.
Yeah,
I did hit balls in my front yard. I mean, like, it wasn't that I was going there, like, threatening. I went to the front yard with a plastic ball, and on the front yard, hit plastic balls to just see if I can make good contact with my new club. And I think probably he's looking at it like this is a weapon as well as a training tool. But I'm looking at it a little bit differently. Well, actually, I'm kind of looking at it as both, too.
Well, I guess we'll have to keep our eye out on Vangate.
Vangate 2021. BTRV? Should have wrote it down.
Should have written it down.
You don't want to be the guy taking pictures of license plates, especially when he's doing good deeds, right? What if he's just like picking people up volunteering? I don't want to be the guy stalking them. Or other side of things, Charlie Manson. Other side of things, what's going on with Gilbert Grape?
Okay.
Other side of things.
Yes.
Fill in the blank.
Yes. Now I was talking to Phil the other day. You just mentioned him, fill in the blank. And he was also confused about whatever the hell is going on.
Anyway, so that's my interesting story of the day.
Yeah, well, we'll have to stay tuned. Let us know, twoceesinapod@gmail.com.
Yeah, what do you think?
Have you seen an unmarked van, rolling around, all white, windows tinted? Let us know, twoceesinapod@gmail.com or contact 911.
Scary stuff.
Yeah,
scary stuff.
It really is.
Right on. Okay, well, good stuff. We're done with the Christmas break. Mm-hmm. We're back to
holiday
tomorrow.
Break, please, holiday break.
What did I say?
You said Christmas.
The Christmas break.
Yes, yeah. Because as you know, old slobs know, we don't celebrate Christmas or Santa. We celebrate the man
Christ guy
who lives in the South Pole. Of course, we celebrate South Pole Santa.
South Pole Santa, and he's black.
He's black. He has a mustache.
But no other beard. And it's one of those thin mustaches.
Yeah, very thin Vincent Price style mustache. He's owned by the Pepsi company.
And he wears Canadian tuxedos, not a red suit.
Yeah, he wears Canadian tuxedo. And he rides in a sleigh he pulls reindeer. All the reindeer. All of them have red noses except for one.
Wow, South Pole Santa.
Yeah, as we know, we celebrate South Pole Santa, but South Pole Santa
he comes on June 21st.
Well, that's the funny thing. He comes every single other day. He comes every day of the year except for Christmas.
Wow, what a hero!
He walks right in your front door.
I like to think of that as the
he shoves milk and cookies down your throat.
Jesus. Instead of giving you coal, you have to give him presents.
You give him presents when he comes to your house, or you can go to the mall parking lot if you want him to sit on your lap.
Instead of making a list, he's on every list.
Well, he makes a list, but he doesn't check it again.
One check, single check.
Just one check on the list for South Pole Santa.
A lot of mistakes on there.
A lot of mistakes on that list.
Never seen Jimmy with 3 M's.
So yeah, you are right. South Pole Santa. We've finished our celebrations of him and the entire holidays, and the New Year's is over.
You got hammered last night.
We are rough over here. In our apartment, we're both feeling the effects of ushering in the new year.
Did you guys host a party? I won't tell.
No, we didn't host. We went out.
Oh, nice. Out to a bar?
No. Just out to friend's place.
Nice. Catch COVID yet?
6 or 8 of us, I think there was.
Dude, you can't be doing that kind of stuff, dude.
And and it was fun. But yeah, definitely feeling the effects of the whole thing this morning. I slept in until probably 12:30.
That'd be
still
nice.
Still haven't eaten any food. I don't think I can keep anything down yet. I think after this show,
you're that rough, eh?
Yeah. It was.
You're like level 4 hangover.
Yes, yeah. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
I'll carry the shit out of this show.
Well, we're 22 minutes in, Cam. Someone better be carrying some of it.
Jesus Christ. I'm telling pedophile stories, telling you about Fill in the Blanks, my favorite co-host.
Of course, Fill in the Blanks. His show is coming up right after ours. We booked him. We booked him here on twoceesinapod. Fill in the Blank. His new show will be coming out a little bit later.
I was over at Connor and Shane's and all of them last night, and they got way more fucked up than I did, to the point where I was able to drive home at 12:30 at night because I don't know, 3 beers. And trying to play Pandemic with 3 dudes that are like way more fucked up than you are can get pretty frustrating. But then again, we lost anyway. But yeah.
I mean, that's a tough game to win on a normal day.
Oh, yeah. But
that
when
is
you're
a
playing
difficult game.
I mean, they were actually pretty good with it, even though they're fucked up. And yeah, anyway, so then I probably got to bed at 2 and was woken up by a barking dog this morning who wanted to go outside or go play Frisbee.
Well, and the crazy thing was, it wasn't Darla.
See, I don't know whose dog this is, and I don't know where I woke up.
But we're keeping.
I woke up at the dog park.
Somehow, some other dog wanted to play, and you sort of went right into your normal self, and you started playing with him.
Yeah. Morning, happy New Year. Can you grab me a coffee? We're at a dog park, sir.
We're at a dog
I didn't
park.
ask where we were. I said, could I have a coffee? Yeah, so that's good shit. We got a new year. We probably make some new goals for the year. Get that listener up 1 more would be good.
Okay, so Cam, at this time last year,
we're not talking about last year's goals because they didn't happen. They weren't good.
Okay,
we'll go over it next week.
Okay,
but we didn't hit a lot of them.
Now I think yours involved reading books.
I had 5 books, and I think I got 3 in.
And then eventually, reading books turned into, okay, I can listen to them on tape.
No, I definitely listened more than 1 audiobook, but no, 3 books down. Didn't get to 5, so this year I'm setting quarterly goals so that I don't have to wait till the end of the year to fail on them.
That's
more
good.
Accountability this way.
That's good. Okay.
Yours was play disc golf every day or something, or it was something. It was play. It
was every week.
Every week.
Well, you hated that right away. You hated my resolution
because I didn't think it was realistic. I thought mine were realistic. I still didn't achieve them, but I could have.
No, well, okay. So I wanted to get out and play around disc golf every week. But what you didn't like about that was that you wanted me to set a number, 52.
Well, that's what you did set, technically. I remember us having we can go back and listen to tape. Anyway, did you hit your goal?
Old slobs remember, and then I was like, well, what if I play 2 in 1 week and then 0 the next week? It's not a number. It's you just want to get out and do as often as you can.
Gotcha. And
did I play 50 rounds? I may have gotten close. I was twice a week up until June. And then I got back to work. My schedule slowed down a bit. But then, I'm still playing once a week now. I may have actually gotten close to 50 rounds. And I know what you're asking, Cam. Did I knock 50 strokes off my game? The answer is no. I probably added a few. Probably added some more. But hey, that's just how it goes, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Somehow, I don't know if it's been from hanging around you, but my YouTube short things, like those TikTok little video things, I've been getting a lot of clips for Frisbee golf and just showing incredible shots through forest. Got way more respect for the game now.
Good.
I didn't know there was so much forest involved with it.
The majority of courses are just forests.
So my local, I call it my home track golf course, has also a Frisbee golf course. If you came to Waterloo, I could play 9, you could play 9, and then I could play 9, you could play 9. We could do ball golf
and
9, disc golf 9.
That'd be fun.
That'd be a pretty sick day.
That'd be a pretty fun day.
What do we wear though?
Goofy looking pants for when we're playing ball golf.
Okay.
Something that really kind of adds, maybe pad it up so it makes our asses just look so fat. Unless
like diaper fat.
Yeah, unless it's Sunday, then we wear red.
We have to wear that on Sundays.
Unless it's Sunday, then we wear red. That would be a lot of fun. I could bring up. I have a lot of extra discs that can be used, and you can walk around with your own pack, and I'll have mine.
Yeah, and I have 2 sets of golf clubs here, so you just not come up with golf clubs.
Fantastic. Well, of course, we got to plan our next sports weekend. Whenever I come up to visit next, hopefully, maybe we'll wait for some things to freeze a little bit.
And for maybe some things to heal, too.
Freeze and heal so we can... not you, Darla. You don't have to heal.
No. She's looking outside. I think she might give me a little yip soon.
And, whenever things freeze up, I think, Cam, that'll be appropriate for us to get out there, play some shinny with some neighborhood children again. I
was playing hockey this weekend up at my cottage. Someone got a rink going, and I was playing.
That's great.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
How'd you feel getting back out there?
I won most games. I didn't get hurt, so that was the big thing. Just don't get hurt.
Yeah.
So I'm still recovering and just didn't want to go too hard and rip something or walk off the course and be like, that was a bad idea. So none of that happened. So overall success.
That's great. We're still not training Muay Thai yet. We're still going to come back.
We're doing a little bit of hand speed work, but definitely no kicking to don't really engage the core that much. Mm-hmm. But I think we have the doctor's appointment this week, I think, and we'll just tell him hey, what's up? Here's what's going on, and hopefully he doesn't you ripped this day 2. Because that would really piss me off.
Oh, yeah. If it's been like this the whole time and you didn't know?
If he's you haven't done anything. You've just made it worse this whole time. I'd be like, fuck. But I don't know. I think I'm good. We'll see. I got my booster shot in a few days. Something like that. So that should be something.
That's something.
Yeah, something to do.
Before
I die from it. But yeah. I got an extra spicy game this week if you want to play.
I want to play it, Cam. Why don't you give it to us?
It is bringing it back for episode 100. All new questions. It's the Wheel of Death.
Death.
A favorite.
A favorite. Had to bring it back for a syndication episode because this one's going to be the first one you see on NBC.
We're in syndication, baby.
Yeah. Incredible. I'm just pulling up my questions. All right, Cameron. We all know how the game is played. We spin a wheel with undesirable questions, which you must answer. Give it your best answer, and we will see what happens. Let's see if we can share the screen or if this will work. Okay, just give me the heads up when you can see.
We got it, baby.
Okay, the topics for the week this week. Let me pull these up here. The Phantom of Loma. Snitches get bitches. Fool me twice, you can't get fooled again. Is that a cream pie recipe? Subscribe to my OnlyCams. But Uncle Larry, is that your wee-wee? And sorry, how many fingers?
Okay.
All right, an extra spicy version of spin the wheel here, Cam. Let's give it a spin. You ready?
Ready for it. Let's go.
Okay. And also a Cam's pick. There we go. The category, is that a cream pie recipe?
Okay.
What would be in your browser history in the last 2 days, not including incognito mode, that you'd be ashamed to show your employer?
Well, I guess probably any of the things. I have gone to work. I was at work yesterday and the day before, so I guess really you would just be showing them like, hey, this was what I was looking at when you were paying me. So maybe like everything in that same kind of way. Something I wouldn't want to show my employer though. Nothing really. I'm not out there looking for new jobs while working the job I have. I could see that as being something out there. No, my history the past couple days have been a pair of headphones I'm looking at. You know when you want to buy, like you're gonna buy something, but
and it's
just like
sit 2,000 times.
Exactly, right? And you're like, there's the thing in the back of your head, just like, just fucking buy it. You're going to buy this anyways.
Yeah, I know. You're like waiting for it to drop 70%.
No, it's on a great Best Buy Boxing Day deal, and you're like, just fucking buy it already. Like
you've read every positive review of it, and you ignore every negative review of it. You're like, it looks great. It looks great.
So there's been a lot of that in my search history, but maybe actually though, we were running this event all month at work, and it was a little lame. It kind of, we're working it every day, so it certainly started to feel a little bit lame. So every day, at one point in the evening, we would get there and search the 1-star reviews for the holiday event. It kind of became like a little bit of a tradition for us too. Every day we'd search for the 1-star reviews and then just kind of agree with them all. Like, yeah, I get it. So I bet an employer wouldn't want to see that.
No, they don't typically like that.
No.
Also, looking up Reddit forums that say, how do I deal with my shitty job? They probably don't like seeing stuff like that.
Probably not.
How to get back at my employer. Stuff like that.
Just kind of a few keywords like job, stealing, is it legal? Just sort of general things like that.
Cream pie recipes.
Exactly.
All right, let's give this thing another spin here, Cameron. Subscribe to my only cams. Cameron, as a man who enjoys his time on Twitter, probably had a Facebook a while back, and maybe even a MySpace years ago, what is the cringiest thing you have ever posted on any social media platform that you can look back on?
Specific examples, I don't think I can remember a specific one. But certainly, I fell into the posting song lyrics in high school. Definitely remember doing that a couple times. Or do you remember
That's tough.
When MSN, it would be like you had your screen name, and then underneath it, you could put a little like tagline on it. And I can certainly recall that tagline of my MSN being, the lyric that is pertinent to whatever emotions I'm feeling right now. Like worst. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm sure you even did a classic Facebook status. Cam Osborne is period. You ever do that one?
Okay, one of those. Yeah, maybe I did. But certainly, I think anything cringy would be me posting a song lyric in a way
that's pretty bad.
That that was just saying how I felt or something like that.
I did that one time to impress a girl, and oh god, I still think about it to this day.
Oh yeah, well now you're engaged, so
crazy.
Something. Yeah, definitely. It was definitely something like that. Song
I know
lyrics.
It didn't work. I still post it every day to see if she comes back to me.
Or I think I remember posting a song lyric one time, and then somebody going like, yo, that lyrics or like that song's about suicide or something like very pertinent, and I was like, oh wow, didn't mean it like that, but just was trying to impress someone.
Dude, one time I was doing a project for health class, and it was about suicide, and it was just like doing research. I don't even know how it came up. My parents came to me, they're like, "How you doing, big fella? Like doing some research online about some stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, what are you talking about?"
Oh, so they thought you were.
They thought I was gonna kill myself.
That's okay. I think when I bought the Simple Plan's first album, no pads, no helmets, just balls, and asked my dad if we can listen to it on the way to the cottage, and it's just him and I in the car, and I think at one point he just turns down the music and he says, "Cameron, like, you don't feel this way, do you?" And I was like, what?
I don't feel it, but this I'll express it through
exactly.
here.
I'm 12 years old. I'm like, what the hell? What are you talking about? I like the song. He's like, oh, okay. I like it was like looking back at it, I was like, oh yeah, my dad saw this or heard this, and he was like, wow, red flag.
Yeah, big red
flag.
Yeah. Yep, that's a big no-no. I don't know how to explain that to people. You can't explain that to your parents when you're 9 years old that, no, when I listen to Jeff Rosenstock, it's because it's pumped up and happy, not because he's talking about getting drunk all alone in a hotel room.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Come on, Mom.
You don't even stand me. All right, let's give this one more spin.
Sure.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, you can't get fooled again. All right, Cameron. What is the most ridiculous thing someone has tricked you into doing or believing?
The most ridiculous thing. Just being gullible. I'm sure there were things as a kid.
Someone told you.
Yeah,
something ridiculous.
So one thing that comes to mind, it's a nice story. It's not embarrassing or whatever like that. It was like my mom used to make she does fajitas all the time. You know, like soft shell, chicken, onion, the whole thing. And mom would make them for me all the time. And when my stepdad started dating, she made them for us one day, right? And I was probably I'm like 8 years old, whatever. And he tells me, he's like, I've never had fajitas before. And I was like, what? I was like going nuts. And then I was like showing him how to wrap the fajita. And like, oh, you got to put the sour cream on first. And then you spread it around the tortilla shell with the spoon. And then I'm showing him how to make it. And he played along. He led me to believe that he had never eaten fajitas before. And then it wasn't until, and then I thought nothing of it. It was like, that's how you do it, Chris. Haha. And then years later, he reminded me of this story that I didn't really remember, but I remembered it happening. And he was like, yeah,
right.
Like you were just so happy to show me how to like wrap a tortilla or how to wrap fajitas that he just played along. And
here's a second thought. Chris is lying to you today and actually had no idea how these things
now
work.
He's trying to save face. And now he's like,
obviously I knew how to save fajitas. I knew how to wrap them.
Obviously I've had a fajita before.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Spanish one.
Yeah, obviously I've been to Mexico.
Tex-Mexico?
I've been to Tex-Mexico.
I don't know how to say it.
But so that was one that he pulled the wool over my eyes, but I was a kid, and it was, it was fun.
All right, one more spin?
Yeah, let's do one more spin.
All right. See what we can get here. Another one, because we've already hit that one. No, we don't want. We've already done the cream pie recipe.
Yeah, because you're not removing them as you go.
I guess.
Yeah, he says close and remove, and then you.
We'll go to this one here. Wow. But Uncle Larry, that's your wee-wee. Cam, do you know what this is referring to?
I don't know this reference, no.
Oh, okay. So in grade 6 health class, they all showed us this video about how to identify pedophiles. And the punchline was, but Uncle Larry, that's your penis. And he'd be like, shh, don't tell anyone about this. This will be our little secret.
Okay.
And it was the whole message of like, if your uncle tries to take you and show him your penis, tell someone.
Ridicule the size of his penis. But Uncle
right.
Larry,
Make him feel like less of a man.
Why is it bending to the left?
I've never seen one like that, Uncle Larry. Why is it smaller than mine?
Uncle Larry, why is yours so much smaller than Daddy's?
Your brother has a huge cock.
Why is your cock so much smaller than your brother's?
You must feel so emasculated.
You must feel like such a less of a man.
Would you even call? Was that Uncle Larry? Is that a micro penis?
Uncle Larry, is that a chode or a micro penis? I can't tell. Is it a chode micro? A mic chode?
Yeah, so that's what the reference is from. Some people who went to Ontario, what do you call it? Primary schools probably have seen that video.
Shout out Aaron Public, EPS.
EPS, baby.
Shout out to all of our EPS listeners. We know you're listening right now. We know you're listening.
Yeah, we know you showed up for syndication.
You're here for syndication. EPS, you made it.
EPS. All right, Cameron. What is one thing you wish you could have unseen?
One thing I wish I could have unseen. If remember, well, I mean, we certainly can all remember the 2 girls, 1 cup.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember this video? It starts off very, there's kind of like some sultry music behind it, and there's these 2 sexy ladies in bikinis or something. And then next thing you know, they're just...
Next thing you know, you've already come.
Next thing you know, and then while you're in the middle of cleaning up, you're like, oh, well, where's the tissue? Then they just start eating shit. Literally.
Yeah.
It kind of, and it ends up looking kind of like soft serve ice cream. I think it was just soft serve ice cream.
Everybody's seen that video, too.
We've all seen it.
If you ask anyone between the ages probably of... What would you say is the bottom age to have seen that?
I'm
going
to say we're probably the bottom. I'm going to say we are.
If
probably
I said
the
like, have you heard of 2 girls, 1 cup? If it's like a 22-year-old, they're gonna be like, no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a little too young for that.
Okay.
But that wasn't even the one I wish I didn't see. In the vein of that, there were a lot of 2 blanks, 1 blank kind of videos that followed in the aftermath. All sorts.
And you always come.
And every time I'm cleaning up is where the gross thing happens. But there was one, I don't know if you can recall it. It was called 1 Man, 1 Jar.
Nope.
Okay.
No,
so again, so here I am cleaning up my cum. So the bit was a guy sits on a glass, like a tomato sauce jar, and it breaks in there. He starts to sit on it, and then it starts bleeding. It was just like, I've said too much already. Old slobs, look up 1 guy, 1 jar.
Or don't. I mean, this
Look
is the
it
one
up.
thing you wish in your life you have unseen. You're like, watch it.
Yeah,
Watch it.
I think I wish I could unsee that one. Because it's gross. There's, as soon as the blood starts kind of trickling down, and I'm covered in my own jizz, and so then I have
like,
this.
I don't know how to feel about tomato sauce.
I have this crazy juxtaposition going on.
Yeah, I can't eat fucking spaghetti without getting hard.
Yeah. My parents used to have to keep all the ragu locked away. It was real. It was a tough one for me, for a little bit there.
Oh God, that's an episode name. Ragu makes me hard.
Ragu makes me hard. Look it up. We're in syndication now, baby. You can't stop us. The train has left the station.
Oh boy. Okay, well that was the end of our spiciest round of Wheel of Death. Hope you enjoyed that one.
That was a lot of fun. Let us know, twoceesinapod@gmail.com. Maybe you have experiences of your own. That was great.
Yeah. Putting shit up your ass and then getting hard.
Yeah, tell us. Hey, slobs, what makes you hard? Let us know. Leave us a voice note, twoceesinapod@gmail.com. Maybe you can be featured on our newest segment, What Makes You Hard?
Is it pasta sauce? Is it ice cream? What is it?
What is it? That was a lot of fun.
Makes you hard.
That's a lot of fun. Let's move on with the show then, shall we? Because it's been a few weeks from now, Cam. Our episode 99 was our live episode. Of course, we were in your basement. We had a great time at the party. And then last week, Cam, was supposed to be our big episode 100, but then you kicked off to Las Vegas again. Very sporadically trying to live kind of just like a lot of fantasies. You were trying to do a Leaving Las Vegas thing. You were trying to do a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas thing. You were trying to do a Flintstones and Viva Rock Vegas thing. None of which worked. You came back, 2 black eyes, very, holes in your pockets, but you loved it.
It was fun. Yeah, how much am I down? We don't talk about these things.
We don't.
You only talk about the winning.
It's inappropriate to discuss finances, people. So let's move on to a segment that we used to do every single week, and we'll continue to do every single week, because we only have 5 minutes to recap an episode of MacGyver. That's right, we're talking MacGyver in Fiverr. MacGyver in 5. It's time for MacGyver in Fiverr. MacGyver in Fiverr. It's time for MacGyver in Fiverr, because we only have 5 minutes to recap this week's episode of MacGyver.
Fiverr, race car driver. I left my notes upstairs. I'm going to run and grab them. Fill time.
Hey, Phil Time just walked in. Phil Time, one of the hosts of Fill in the Blanks. We're very excited, kind of like a show that's kind of associated here with Two Season Pod. He is recording. Phil Time is recording Fill in the Blank at the Two Season Pod studio, which is very exciting. As the studio gets bigger, and of course, Kim Mitchell, thanks for listening. Cam's returned with his notes.
Look at that. Is there any white on my nose?
Yeah, you've got the old, you're having some powdered donuts.
Snowing in January, baby. Okay, let's kick this off.
The time it should be snowing, so here's the bit. We only have 5 minutes.
Are you a Fauci believer? You believe in climate change, huh? All right, let's kick this off.
I didn't think Fauci was exclusively, but whatever. Either way,
yeah, you lizard people. All right,
sure. Either way, we know what that means. We have 5 minutes to recap this week's episode of MacGyver. Of course, we're talking episode 16. Every time she smiles.
Every time she smiles. Well, let's see. I took pretty detailed notes on this one, so this one's probably going to have to be a pretty quick read-through.
Well, at least a pretty quick read-through for me. Cam, we're putting 5 minutes on the clock. Are you ready?
No. Yes.
Okay, Cam, are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, and go!
Opens up in Bulgaria, in a city where there's people sitting around a chessboard with a bunch of townies, where MacGyver walks in seemingly after his hand has broken to get a hand-delivered postcard given to him by a man playing chess to bring back to the USA. At the airport, he meets Penny Parker, an annoying model who slips a jewel-filled earrings into his pockets while in line. And at that moment, the guards come to Penny to look for these earrings, only to find that she doesn't have them. The metal detector goes off while Mac is walking through, and they swarm him, detain him and Penny. At the back room of the airport, Penn and Mac are handcuffed together, and Mac uses a coat hanger to break through the drywall to find the conveyor belt of the airport is right behind the wall beside them. He attaches a chair to the metal clothing hanger and uses the hook to lasso the conveyor belt, bursting the chair through the wall, creating an opening and allowing them to escape. The state officials, Stefan, meet to discuss the next steps, and we learn that those earrings cost $700,000. The government now wants the man who gave Mac the postcard with the microfiche. Okay, yeah, that's a word. Wrote these a week ago. The jeweler was his mother's. Back at the park, Mac and Penny are being chased by the officials who chase them inside the merry-go-round. Mac uses the center of the merry-go-round, or goes into the center of the merry-go-round, increases the speed, then drops bolts into the engine, jamming the merry-go-round and sending the officials who chase them onto the merry-go-round flying. Mac and Penny escape with their life. Go ahead, Cam.
Okay, yes. No, Mac and Penny have met up at a restaurant where they're planning their next move. Their plan is to break in Stefan's apartment and find the jewels and the microfilm from MacGyver's bag.
It was a week ago.
We get a quick makeout session at the table, though, before Mac heads out. Next, so back to our old spy friend in Bulgaria, the man that Mac met up with, who got the microfilm at the chess game. And, well, this old man's getting waterboarded by a man named Petrovich. And he threatens his family. And he says, hey, I'm going to kill them all if you don't give me Mac's info. And guess what? This motherfucker spills the beans immediately on Mac and Penny and lets them know about what their next move is. He figures out his information, all he needs, and then Stefan is off to his apartment to get the jewels, which is exactly where Mac is breaking into at that moment. He finds the bag with the goodies, but suddenly there's a knock at the door. It's Penny! And she just apparently walked right in the front door because she knows the doorman. Just then we hear keys trying to unlock the door. Mac hides in the kitchen, but then Stefan opens the door to Penny sitting on a couch in the dark. In the kitchen, Mac grabs rat poison, salt, and floor cleaner, and mixes it all into a pot. He takes a cup of lard, which is a very common household product, wraps it in newspaper and sprinkles some oven cleaner while redirecting the natural gas line from the stove towards the solution to, as he says, marinade for a little bit. Mac comes out to greet Stefan, and he is, well, just stalling for time while his concoction starts to bubble up, and boom! Big explosion. Mac knocks out Stefan before him and Penny run out the door with the rest of the tenants. They hop in Stefan's car and they hit the road. They find shelter at Petrovich's country home, but their car is out of gas and Stefan has every gas station on lock looking for these two. Just then Stefan walks in, hoping that Penny would have remembered this house, and he was right. Petrovich is there too, so Mac hands him the secret microfilm before Petro tells Stefan to kill Mac and Penny. Kill him, dead, shoot him. But Stefan's a little bit hesitant to do so. He tries to take the gun away from Petrovich. Mac knocks him out, and now Stefan joins him and Penny as they hop into a car and drive off right before the KGB get there. So now it's a race to the border, which we've done before, by the way. Mac climbs out the sunroof of the car and jumps onto the back of a diesel truck that's driving right in front of them. He ruptures the diesel line of the truck and sprays diesel and water out onto the road behind them. The KGB cars slide around out of control and boom! Another big explosion. One of the KGB cars flips out, explodes. They've been stopped. They climb safely across the border to neighboring Greece. They're stopped by a Greece police officer who asks for their passport. Right before Mac can think of something witty to say, Penny yells out, "Constantine?" The officer recognizes Penny. It looks like everything is going to be okay because when it comes to Penny, every time she smiles. And that was it.
Wow, 4 seconds left on the clock.
That was a good one.
Beautiful job. Beautiful job. Yeah, I watched that 2 weeks ago and I just had notes on it, so that was the first read through in a while. So hopefully it made sense.
Yeah, I felt a little slow. Felt like a kid trying to read Shakespeare in class. A little bit.
Yeah, I was never a good reader in class.
You were never a good reader out of class. So
yeah.
Either one. But that's great. We'll be back episode 17 next week. We're coming up on the end of MacGyver season 1 too. See, it's really flown by, just like Knight Rider did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess
A-Team next.
Episode 17 is next, but I think there's
20. No, A-Team. I said A-Team.
Oh, we haven't talked about it. We haven't talked about the next. We haven't talked about the next one, so yeah, we have probably 7 more weeks until we have a new show we need to watch. Let us know, twoceesinapod@gmail.com. What do you want it to be?
Yeah, I've heard Decker is a popular show that kids are listening to these days.
No, you say kids.
Yeah, the kids.
The kids.
The kids who were kids in the 80s.
Right. While watching this old Ted Danson show, right?
Ted Danson.
I think it's Ted Danson.
All right. Well, what do we got for time here, Cam?
I mean, I guess we're in syndication now.
What are you doing tonight anyway?
We can do whatever we want. It's Saturday night. Well, this is the first night that I've actually had off, or like this full day, and I've actually been working a lot still, and with the move, like the next couple days, first kind of few days where I can kind of just do stuff. Or, kind of, I sort of have, the house is mostly clean and everything's put away, but my little area of the desk is kind of like shit could be put away. But I think tonight we're going to be checking out that new Adam McKay film there on Netflix, Don't Look Up, with
watch that
DiCaprio and stuff. We were also gifted a popcorn maker.
Oh, nice.
And it's this real cool looking it's probably sits, a foot and a half or 2 feet tall, boxy, and then it looks like the one they have at the movies. It's like there's a glass
that's fun.
Glass windows that open up, and there's the pot hanging there in the middle. You can melt butter on it too. So I think we're just looking forward to just kind of lounging around for the evening, and then hit the links first thing tomorrow.
Fuck. Yeah, I gotta get some more plastic golf balls so I can.
So you can scare pedophiles in your front yard?
Scare pedophiles or volunteers, but sometimes there's no difference.
Amen. Just ask the Catholic Church, am I right? By the way, kicking off this next hundo, we're getting a lot more topical. It's going to be a lot. We're kind of turning this into a weekend update.
Joe Rogan-esque
I was going to say weekend
Life?
I was going to say weekend update on SNL, but Cam, I think you really want to make it into a Rogan style show where no matter who we talk to and what their profession is, we
just talk about the vaccine.
It's just talking about COVID. If there's one person, for somebody who is so against it, he sure loves talking about it.
I know, it's ridiculous. It's
like do you talk about...
Now I listen to it, you just pull the dragger ahead, and you're like, still? It's been 40 minutes.
Like, do you talk about things you hate? Like, I talk about things I like. I talk about wrestling. I like talking about I'm an advocate for wearing kind of thermal underwear in the winter. I'll talk about that all day. I love that shit. But I don't talk about things that I hate.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to occupy his mind a lot, but I think that also is because he can't come to Canada, so he had to cancel his shows there. Mm-hmm. So it's probably making his income disappear. And I shouldn't say that. He's making money.
Of course, we're starting. Cam and I think this is a good place to say we are starting a new podcast. The Joe Rogan Experience, where we recap,
review
the Joe Rogan Experience, which is a review podcast of the Joe Rogan Experience.
And we're only doing old episodes.
Yeah, we're starting off at episode 1. We're not doing new ones. We're we're working our way through the catalog like we're trying to watch Sopranos for the first time. We're starting at number 1. And we're going to see how far we can go before we either kill ourselves or each other.
Has there been a television show, a little bit off topic here, but thought The Sopranos, little segue from there. That's right, know how to segue.
Of course. I can see the How-To for Dummies books on your shelf.
So you know how the Star Wars wouldn't be in chronological order, how they were released?
Okay. Yeah.
Is there any shows like that for seasons that are popular?
Okay, what do you mean? So, like, for example...
like, season 1 would have happened post season 3.
That is a good question. I don't know. Nothing really comes to mind. I'm sure there are...
I mean, it's kind of a weird thing to do even in movies. So actually, movies is easier because one sitting... A season, you want to see what's going to happen next, not what happened before. Like Better Call Saul is a prequel, but different show.
That's a prequel that cuts to a couple post Breaking Bad moments, kind of in and out there. That is a good question. I'm going to say...
should we come up with a show that has very bad chronological order and call it art?
Yeah, we're just... If you call it art, nobody can say it sucks. That's how it works. We
only get paid in Ethereum.
That's how it works. We only get paid in fictional money.
It won't be a television show. It'll be an NFT, which is also a television show.
Yes, NFT the show. Which is... I think
the show, which does not have a timeline.
Yeah, that would be too hard, I think. Just because in the Star Wars thing, like he made 4, 5, 6 because he had the idea for 1, 2, 3, but 1, 2, 3 wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't really make sense without 4, 5, 6 there already. If that kind of makes sense.
I never watched the Star Wars films, so.
And I think I pretty much told that because you called them the Star Wars. you sound like. I
said the Star Wars films.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Well,
you can't say because it wouldn't make sense if I say I never seen Star Wars films.
Well, there's a couple. They have some live action shows out there. The Book of Boba Fett, The Mandalorian, which are either I think like are between things. Like The Mandalorian is like it fits there in a time frame of its own shit. The Marvel movies are a little bit all over the place in terms of time, even like as they were released. Like the Iron Man was the first MCU movie. But there's 2 movies which happened before it, right? Those came out later. Like the Captain America, the first Captain America movie happens in the 40s. It happens in World War II. But then like the Captain Marvel movie happens in the 90s. Although that movie was like the 20th released or something. So,
here's an idea. Once a month, you give me a rec for a movie. I would say weekly, but there's no chance I would watch it in a week.
Yeah, that would be fun. Maybe a new little segment where it's kind of like a weekly recommend thing.
But like I said,
well, no,
can't do weekly,
it doesn't have to.
Maybe you, yeah.
Cam, it's not about you. Maybe it can be about our listeners too. Like the segment's called Recommend or Pretend, where you recommend a book to some. Hey, I read this book, or hey, I. Just something
I recommend reading. Which book did you read? I don't want to get into the details of it.
I read the back of a hamburger helper box. I would really recommend sort of getting out there, using your eyes.
I like The Cat in the Hat.
You got Hop on Pop, all the places you'll go.
Hop on Pop.
Green Eggs and Ham.
I'll give you my rec, which I'm about halfway through right now, is The American Factory, which is on Netflix, documentary. Got a bunch of nominations. It's about a Chinese company that comes to Dayton, Ohio, and tries to institute the Chinese way of manufacturing. Documentary, and you just get to see the clash between Chinese manufacturing and how Americans work. Very good, very interesting. Would recommend.
There you go. Recommend or pretend, baby.
I don't know. What are we pretending? Maybe
I don't know. Well, I'm trying to think of a rhyme.
We can do. We don't always have to rhyme everything.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It has to.
Yeah, read the contract. Read the contract.
Cam, now you did not. I spent.
We're in syndication.
I spent. I read through the entire thing. Cam, it really feels like you sort of blasted right through it.
I just signed the details. Sign the dotted line.
No clue what you signed for. But yeah, that's a great idea. That'll be a lot of fun.
Never do.
Check out that documentary, Cam. Should we get to our final game of the day?
I would love to, Cameron.
Let's get to our final segment of the big hundo episode. Let's bring you some headline or asinine.
Hey, headline, asinine. Headline or asinine.
Do it. I can kick us off today.
We know how the game's played. Fake headlines, real headlines, and God, Cam, by this point, we've played this game almost every single episode.
We've played this one a lot.
Yeah, probably starting around like episode 7 or 8 or something was when we decided to play it every day. Or sorry, every week rather. So by this point, we've heard approximately 600 headlines.
Wow.
60.
Crazy.
600. Yeah.
Crazy, man. Crazy. All right, Cameron. Headline or asinine. Top Excel gurus will battle it out in esports-like competition.
Now that's cool because there is so much to Excel that I don't know about. Sort of my employer gives me like an invoice template that I fill out and then give that back to be paid. And where you can do it like a thing where it does the math for you in something.
Yes, I know how Excel works.
Oh my! I'm impressed every single time it happens. I just type in.
It impresses a lot of people at my work.
I type in my rate and I type in the amount of hours and then boom, just in the next fucking column over there, it just does the math for me. I felt like a chump sitting there with my calculator.
Yeah, it's wild.
But yeah, and I think the popularity of esports kind of mixed with the popularity of the very niche kind of like, wow, that's cool market.
Yeah.
Could actually yield some good results. So I am going to say that's a headline.
This is a headline that was actually broadcast on ESPN3 or YouTube, where financial modeling wizards would go towards a $10,000 prize. They had 128 participants in an esports-like competition where I don't know if you ever watched esports, but you have different guys' screens and their faces. I mean, their faces aren't showing much emotion. They're not like trying to be... think about going to an office and looking at someone staring at a screen. They look a little soulless, kind of like someone in a slot machine. So that's what you're really getting. The participants that ended up winning, I think he was from India. I don't have his name here, but the goal was to get a case study, a financial case study, and model it out. Pretty complicated stuff. Looked at it a little bit over my head, but you should see the way these guys move around Excel.
Wow. Wow, these Excelsiors. Okay, Cam.
All right, hit me up.
I go in here for you. Headliner Asinine, Saudi Arabian scientists promote women to mammals.
Oh, my Lord. Saudi Arabia scientists promote women. I'm curious what the one before that was. Was it reptiles? Like, where were they sitting in the genealogy before that, or just like non-existent beings, right? It's kind of like how cab companies. You're like, oh, do you know any other cabs around town? Like, I don't consider Uber a cab. And if you're in Saudi Arabia, like, do you know any other people around here? Like, I don't consider women mammals. Like, well, what do you consider it then? That being said, I know they don't have the greatest respect for women down there, like notoriously. But I think they have a little more respect than to at least call them mammals. So I'm going to call a little bit of bullshito on this one, Cameron.
Cam, that's when Asinine. I made it up. Didn't know. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a keto?
Like the diet? Carb?
No, the martial art.
Light on
Aikido. Aikido is the one that Steven Skull practiced.
Oh, doing the splits on 2 trucks.
Shit like that, yeah. All right, Cameron, well, we got a bullshito or a keto for you here.
Ooh, I like that.
It's a prank, bro. YouTube prank gets a man sent to USP Florentine max security prison.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's doing the pranks for the, for the YouTube channels and stuff like that. That's the new thing. These kids doing pranks.
Been around for about 15 years. That's the new thing.
And they're always so bad. Like, pranks suck when they're on strangers. It's the prank on the stranger. That's the.
I like the one. Okay, here's the one prank I do like on the stranger, where it doesn't hurt them in any sense, but it's like, hey, would you mind watching my bag for a second? And then they leave to like go to the washroom. Then they come out and they're like 40 years older, and they're like, thanks, man. And then the person's just like super confused.
Yeah, that's like a Jackass style thing. Like when Preston Lacey goes into a porta potty, makes a bunch of noise, and then Wee Man comes out. Like, that's funny. No one is hurt. But yeah, like but to get you in federal like maximum prison, I mean, God, you want to say that, how would that be possible? But it's probably very possible, right? The day started off, you thought it was going to be a great prank. By the end of the day, you're being tasered in the back of a fucking police car with handcuffs on, all because you wanted to get a couple more followers. I'm really excited to hear the story. I hope it is a story, so I'm going to say that's a headline.
This one's asinine, Cam. This one's a little bit of bullshito for you. I think it'd be difficult to get a maximum security, but I could see it happening, especially if you're like, this is a robbery. This is a robbery for views.
Exactly.
Like, if you fake, that's armed. Yeah.
If you fake a robbery, it's still a robbery. Like if you have a fake gun, but you walked into a fucking jewelry store with a mask on your face, and that's still not allowed. Okay, Cam, I'm going here for you. Headliner Asinine: Air Canada employee fell down stairs in her home and is eligible for workers' compensation.
Air Canada, I mean, what? Yeah, I mean, I think if you get someone injured at work and then you get injured at home because of that, you're allowed to. Sorry if there's noise in the background. We got this toy for Darla and it rolls and it makes sounds. So we'll try and kick her outside or just push her to the side there. Dogs for you. Dogs, am I right, people? What's up with them? Are you a cat person? I tell you, something about cats. Where's it going with this? So yeah, Air Canada. This doesn't seem like that crazy of a headline to me. I mean, if I got hurt on the job and then extenuated that injury at home, I still blame my workplace, right? Is that the China way of doing it? As you'll see in American factory, no, it isn't. In a Canada or America, yes, it is. That's a Quito.
Cam, that is a headline here for you. I think you did misunderstand the headline slightly a bit. Because
I seem to do that often.
You seem to do that often. You hear what you want to hear, and then you just go for it. Cam, this is a story out of Quebec, where a judge ruled that an Air Canada call center employee who hurt themselves while falling down the stairs at their house actually suffered a workplace injury and will be able to claim compensation. The rule.
Oh, see, I heard it correctly. I just assumed that they were
maybe
hurt
you
on,
assumed something different. Yeah. So the ruling was given by Judge Philip Bouvier, who agreed that any work from home due to COVID-19 does count as an area which falls under workers' compensation. Your home office is an extension of the office that your employer would provide for you. This happened back in September to a woman named Alexandra Jean-Cille Paty, who is an Air Canada customer service agent working her regular shift from her home office. She logged off her computer from her second floor office and started walking downstairs for her lunch break, and on her way downstairs tripped down the staircase and stumbled down, resulting in the injury. She argues that she injured herself while exiting her workplace and therefore was eligible for compensation, which in Quebec is 90% of her salary for up to 2 years. Air Canada tried to argue that the fall on the stairs did not occur during work, since she was no longer in her professional sphere but in her personal sphere, because the fall happened when she was on her way to the kitchen and not in the office itself. So they claim that Air Canada is not responsible for the safety of an employee in their personal space. The judge disagreed, saying that the injury fit the definition of a sudden and unexpected event that occurred during work.
Wow. Good to know.
So,
good to know.
Judging by that, Cam, if you're sitting at your desk and your bookshelf falls on you somehow and cracks your skull open, that's workers' comp.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah.
2020, new year, new me. 2022, whatever we're at. All right, Cameron. Headline around time. Woman buries husband alive in backyard to help him attain immortality.
Yeah, I guess, some people, you must believe something, if I'm buried, this way, if I do this kind of ritual, then I'll live forever. But the thing with that is, the thing that gets me about that is that immortality doesn't necessarily mean, super strength. If you're buried in a casket 6 feet under the ground, even if you can live forever, how the fuck are you going to get out? Are you going to have to do that, that 2-inch punch that Uma Thurman does in Kill Bill Volume 2? We're not all Uma. So, yeah, I'm going to assume they died. But how do you figure that out? Are you kind of like, okay, you'll be immortal in 3 hours, so I'll just sit and watch TV, and I'll see you when you're back. And then he doesn't come back, and then you're like, oh, it's been more than 3 hours now. It's been more than 4 hours. Maybe I should check on him. And he's
too late.
And it's too late, he said. Unless they rang the little bell thing, like you see in old school cemeteries. They have the bell that rings up.
Terrifying when it's windy outside.
Yeah, terrifying when it's windy outside. This sounds a little bit crazy, so I'm going to say it's asinine.
This one's a headline out of a region in India where a man who believed he had spoken to God built a temple because he was near the end of his life. So he builds a temple, says, hey, I've heard from God. We just got to bury me alive, and then I'll come back rejuvenated without any of these illnesses. The wife seems to go along with it without questioning anything, as a good wife does, Anyway, so this goes on, and then the daughter comes home and goes, hey, where's dad? Mom starts to just get a little bit silent and goes, people leave without their shoes and their keys and their phone. And
What's
then
up,
they
Shannon?
go, is that a temple in the back? They go, yeah, don't go inside. Don't worry about that temple. Immediately calls the police. The police come, and they're getting in some legal trouble right now because apparently you probably shouldn't allow someone to try and immortalize themselves. I don't know how that system works.
Well, I guess it would be like that's manslaughter. You did something that resulted in somebody dying.
Yes, but I did if you help build the temple, maybe. But if you let them go inside the temple, right? I don't know. There's complexities to it.
Yeah. Thanks, Dr. Kevorkian.
What's that reference? Is that Star Trek?
No. It was a
Fuck.
Dr. Kevorkian, the man who kind of like invented doctor assisted suicide. He built a suicide machine with like a series of like things, and it was pretty much like set you up in a way that you sat down in the chair, and then he was like strap you in, whatever, you're ready to go, and then he fills up the needles with kind of like the stuff they do, in like when you're on death row, like a lethal injection, and he made it a way so he tells them if you press this button, the needles will come down, it'll inject you, and you will die. And then he leaves the room. So he's not killing. It was a whole thing in the 90s. It was a whole thing. But yeah, doctor assisted suicide. That's how they make. Remember the suicide pods we were talking about a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Same.
Well, old slobs remember this one, Cam. What is the number one lowest? What's a good way to phrase this? The lowest rate of malfunctioning death row.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this once, yeah.
Do you remember what it is?
I don't know.
The one that with the least complications?
I don't. Was it lethal?
Firing squad.
Firing squad. Right.
Yeah, lethal injection's like 5%. It's pretty high.
Wow. Freaky. Okay, Cam, one final headline here for you. Headliner Asinine, Amazon's Alexa tells 10-year-old girl to stick a paperclip in a light socket.
Oh. Well, I believe that it just pulls generated results from the internet, which is just the most common one and most accepted one. Now, you'd think there'd be some boundaries on it to say, like, how can I generate electricity with a paperclip? Put a little bit of safeguards. But you know what? Kids these days, they're sheltered everything. I go to the playground across the street. There's padding on the ground. Back when I was young, I saw 4 different kids crack open their heads. And you know what? And to them, it made them tougher or dead. These kids these days, they can't even get shocked, right? Unbelievable.
Can't even do it.
Kids these days. I'm going to say headline because it just pulls from the internet, and just that's probably a common result.
Cam, that one's asinine. I made it up.
Fuck.
But
I hate myself.
But that is
this year sucks.
That is probably how Amazon things like that work. So watch out. Be a Google Home like the rest of us. God damn it. And that was all the time we have for the episode this week. The big hundo. We kicked it off in style. We're bringing you episode 101 next week. You're going to want to come back. Rate, review, like, and subscribe. The show is everywhere. Reach out to us, twoceesinapod@gmail.com if you have a product you want to push, or even a question, or even for one of us, both of us, we don't know. So reach out to us however you can, and can't wait for that 2 hundo. Now we're working to that. Goals in the past now. Couldn't make it happen last year, but we already crushed one this year. Amen.
And never forget, people, next time you're at the vending machine buying a soda, vending machines kill more people in a year than sharks do. I'm Cam LeClaire, signing off.
Take care, folks.
Continuing tonight on 2 C's in a Pod. 96.7 on your
Two C's in a pod, 2 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 C's in a pod, because we're 2 C's in a pod, just like 2 C's in a pod, 2 C's in a pod at gmail.com.